Hey, welcome to the Doc Analyzes Anything, the show where science and psychology meet. We analyze human behavior, including making a list and checking it thrice.
That's
You
called
you just
anxiety.
you just put it in there, didn't you? That like you want it to be Christmas related.
I may or may not have asked for Santa related spin on this one.
Actually,
But
Okay.
it's
would you say
still
it has anxiety or lack of confidence in your in you
It's
doing?
definitely we talked about it last time. This is Kyle's life when he's measuring things with a tape measure, basically.
Mhm.
Like
it's
It's
true.
to measure twice, cut once, right?
I measure more than twice because I've made very catastrophic expensive mistakes before.
The best thing
So
was one time I was watching my dad cut trim for a window, and I'm watching it, and he keeps measuring it, and he's cutting it, but then the angles aren't they're going, backwards from one another, but he wasn't shifting the blade to cut at, the opposite angle. So instead of meeting up properly, they were just coming like
yeah,
this,
they're like team.
and just you can just hear the grumbles under his breath, and I'm just like, "He's too far in now." I don't know, I feel like correcting him would just worsen the situation.
yeah, you're screwed. Don't say anything.
It's confusing cutting those angles, but no, checking a list thrice would be I think that would be some anxiety on Santa's part. I mean, Santa feels good about twice, assuming that's really what he does. I have trouble separating the lore from the real the real
Say,
person.
did we say two?
Santa
Better make
Santa
it
is a
3.
narcissistic asshole. He just leaves it to the elves that they did it all, and he gets the credit.
Good
Well,
point.
since we're talking about interesting holiday traditions today, because this will come out the day before or on or after Christmas, depending on what Kyle feels like doing and when, and what his life is doing around that time. Uh, I will say that is something that I found and read was interesting, that the how Santa is viewed in the United States is different than anywhere else in the world. Basically, like he's like a stoic, kind of gruff, like don't mess around, you're not getting anything but coal type figure in a lot of places. A little bit more religious, but also kind of like not so jolly, not so jovial, and not so flashy.
I
We
feel
we
like
like
Right.
ourselves a flashy Santa here in the United States.
I'm thinking about, the stereotypical, Russian person that their version of Santa is probably like, "Oh, you're lucky that you're even getting anything, that
Yeah,
did you earn this? Did you work hard enough this year that you got this, action figure?"
Yeah,
action
it-
figure or whatever, or
Yeah,
whatever
or
you got.
so or whatever. Whatever toy you want.
yeah. We'll get into a lot of the different things, and for those who are listening and may not celebrate Christmas, this is supposed to be kind of a holiday traditions in general this time of year, just to basically, we've been doing a lot of fun stuff, and I was gonna just crash down hard and tell you all something horrible, or just deflate all the good cheer. But coming out this close to the holiday season, we're like, oh, we'll make it another fun one. So it is going to be fairly Christmas centric, just because of who we are as people who grew up in families, at least, that celebrated those sort of things. I
Sure.
think our house is a little bit more of a family and presence day than a true what people think about as Christmas, but I prefer that personally. So, but we'll get into some of these ideas, but it will be a little bit Christmas heavy, just because that is what we know, kind of personally, I think. So,
Yeah, that is what I grew up with as well. There was some of the meaning of Christmas, but I was a selfish child.
trees, it's trees.
It's trees.
Uh,
Yes.
so hello everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Dr. Steven Sparks. With me, as always, our co-host Kyle Sturry and Mr. Ho 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 himself, Brad Clements, here with us today.
Doctor Mr. Brad Clements.
Dr. Mister.
That is debatable. And
Steve just wants to be the center. He won't recognize my title.
that is literally the point of this podcast, is for me to be the center of attention. I don't
Sorry.
know
Let's
where
carry it.
the argument.
let's not get too far off track. Steve, come on.
And by the end of the show, I will be calling myself Father Christmas, and you will all just be
Father
dealing with it.
Christmas.
I'll be your little
Uh,
elf.
little disappointed. I have this beautiful Christmas ugly sweater that was supposed to have been here weeks ago. It still has not arrived. It's got a T-Rex with Santa Claus riding it. You know, it was quite nice, but who knows?
As
It said
per
it was shipping.
biblical tradition.
Right. It said it was shipping from Kyle's land of Indiana, but I'm wondering if it was like Indiana, China, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what's
I
going
don't
on
know that
here.
that's a real place.
uh,
Should we keep that in?
I don't. You
why
what?
would we? Why would that be a problem?
I don't know.
I'm just saying it's obviously shipping from much farther away than they led me to believe by looking at their website. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Did you get mine?
No, that's not. I was just saying. Dr. Brad here asked me to order him one with a cat riding something with a lightsaber on it, and his is not here yet either.
Man.
Okay,
And
but
so
it was
the best I can
right, thank you.
the best I can do is flashing green and red lights in the background and a red hoodie that I happen to own. So a little bit of a letdown.
Sorry, Indiana let you down. I can go talk to him if I
If
had
you
more
would, that'd be
information.
great.
Take it up to the board.
This place said
So
like
Kyle will rise to power in the Indiana government.
it said like it will ship.
Not hard to do.
It'll ship within like 8 business days, and then 10 to 20 days of shipping. And I'm like, that's a long time shipping, but okay. And I ordered it on November 2nd, and so it's just not.
It's being delivered by horse and buggy, so you got to cut
It
us some
is
slack.
probably your family who is hand knitting this sweater.
Yes,
because I know
yep.
your Amish family would absolutely be happy to put Santa riding a dinosaur for Christmas.
I don't know. They're not allowed to talk to me. I'm shunned.
That's true.
Speaking of Kyle's family, is that your great grandmother in the portrait above your head smoking a cigarette?
She is smoking. That is my not my great grandmother.
I believe that's a blunt.
What? It is smoking something. What is it exactly? Yeah. She's got something in her mouth. One of my office mates takes old paintings and puts new things on them. So there's one in the bathroom here. It's like this old pilgrim boy, but he's wearing an Allen Iverson jersey. It's pretty amazing.
That works. All right. So weird, interesting, fun holiday stuff. From looking at the internet, it seems like most of the world just thinks that we are the weird ones with our normal American holiday traditions. And so maybe one day we'll be big in like Uruguay or something, and they'll be like, you silly Americans. But from now, the 10 people we know that are listening are probably here in the United States. So we'll talk about things from other parts of the world that are interesting, not necessarily weird, but interesting to us because it's not our norm, but are kind of cool things too. But to really get started, let's just talk about what are the holidays to us. So how about favorite Christmas movies? Where are you at on that? Or holiday movies? It doesn't have to be Christmas. Like I would say Eight Crazy Nights, although not my favorite. Adam Sandler's animated, it's up there for me. So
that I don't know that I've ever seen that one.
It's very good.
We are big Home Alone people. But we also watch Santa Claus Conquers the Martians every year, which you've never seen that movie.
Heard of that?
It's an amazing 60s B movie where you can see the fishing line carrying the UFO around. Like it's so bad. But it holds up because it's so bad that it's funny, and it's funny the entire time. Like there's not a minute that I'm not laughing.
Do your kids enjoy that too?
They do. Yeah.
Okay, so with everything that I'm gaining and knowing you, Kyle, do you think your kids are gonna be like hipstery type people?
Hipstery?
Yeah, because are just very like throwback. Because you seem like very like chill in that regard, and like really appreciate the old classic stuff that not many people really know about. And then is this like what your kids are gonna
There's no
Granted,
way you could call that movie an old classic, first of all.
right? It's
It's not
old.
classic, although
Yeah,
Kevin
you
Bacon
find that
does.
in Goodwill.
Kevin Bacon does flip it on in the uh, Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. He turns it on. We were like, we watched that movie. No, it was big on. I mean, perhaps I've got a bit of a leaning that way. I don't know what you're I don't know what the kids are calling that these days.
Okay.
Because Brad's like 10 years old, but I appreciated growing up Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah.
You've ever seen that? And they riff on that movie, and that's where I first saw it. But
Okay.
a lot of times it's hard to keep up with. Mystery Science Theater, they just sit and like make fun of old movies and B movies. Uh, but
I
that's
only
one
saw a
that
few
is,
episodes, but I did enjoy it. We just didn't have cable at that point in life, so.
we love it for like half an episode, and then there's the point where it's like the movie just is really bad, and it's really hard to keep up with. But yeah, there's some real gems, like some one-liners in there that they throw in. But Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, though, Brad, I'll watch it with you sometime when we hang out.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
All right. No matter
You'll
the
like it.
time of year, which
Yeah,
actually
no.
brings me to my favorite movie when speaking of the time of the year, because mine used to be Home Alone.
Mhm.
And then Dr. Sparks's kids, they didn't ruin it for me, but it was the point that Home Alone.
They watch it weekly all year round, and so.
It's okay. I wasn't talking.
No, you weren't.
But yeah, when that movie's getting thrown on in July
Is
and
that what that
August,
noise was?
You guys, come on, guys.
So what do you actually like now that my children have almost ruined that movie for you?
I have come to really like the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
Now, that is now a favorite for our 4-year-old, and so you may get sick of that soon enough,
I
too.
know. I'm scared. When he
Oh, nice.
recommended that on Thanksgiving, I was like,
Yes.
oh no, here we go.
We actually, for his presents from us, he has Clark Griswold wrapping paper that his presents will be wrapped in.
That's awesome.
Nice.
I think I want, and
Mine,
we talked about it. I think I want the Griswold jersey, but I would do it as a Red Wings jersey.
I think some people may catch what's going on there, and some people be like, wait, who's Griswold? But either way, make it your own.
It's pretty classic. Yeah, it's pretty classic.
Well, there was a Blackhawks. You can't wear that in Metro Detroit. So
That's true. That's true.
Do you guys have a hockey team in Indiana?
We have
do you have ice
what?
there?
Which ice are we talking about? We have both. We do have a very kind of a famous. So I don't know if you guys know this about Fort Wayne. We were before the NBA was the NBA. There was the ABA, the American Basketball Association, and we had the Zollner Pistons. The company Zollner owned the Pistons before they moved to Detroit. So we have them, and we have one of the oldest, what would it be, like minor league hockey teams in the Fort Wayne Comets. I was just at a hockey game last weekend because my daughters danced their Nutcracker routine at halftime or second period. What's that called? It's not halftime. It's 3 periods.
That'd be it.
Intermission? Yeah.
I'm not a hockey guy. I'm trying to learn it, but it's a process.
Steve, what are your holiday movies that you enjoy?
I mean, I like a lot of them, but my favorite is The Ref. I think we may have discussed that before. I'm not sure. Are you familiar with
What's the
Dennis Leary,
No.
90s? And basically, he's a thief that I think it's safe now that I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. He's
No.
he goes to rob a mansion, sets off the alarms, and he has to find a place to hide out. So he like kidnaps and then takes over the home of a family that's just as dysfunctional as possible. They're fighting, they're screaming at each other. The rest of the family comes in for the holidays, and he's having to pretend to be their like marriage counselor, and it is very entertaining. So that's my favorite.
The Ref.
Yeah,
I've never heard of it.
and so you can imagine Dennis Leary. Like, do not watch that with your kids, probably. But like the son's in like military school, but he's blackmailing his like the commander with pictures with him with dancers and things like that, and there's all kinds of good family
Perfect.
wholesomeness going on in that one. So
That movie
It's
has really grown on me. The first time I was like, it's okay. But then the second or third time we watched, I was like, like this is actually like a solid like comfort movie.
the biggest problem with it, probably for nowadays, is it's got Kevin Spacey, which I know is problematic. But you have to, I don't know, are we allowed to watch things with him in it from 30 years ago before it came out? He did horrible things. I don't know.
Are you paying to see it? Well, you're not paying to see it.
I mean, I already owned it, so no, at this point it's free.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're fine. You
All
can
right.
watch him. Just tell your kids he's a bad guy.
All right. How about any other fun, interesting holiday things you do? Like, I try to watch the Saturday Night Live Christmas special every year. Like, they add the new stuff each year from the last year. It's usually pretty
That's one of the
entertaining.
Yeah.
best ones in my opinion. Each year or like of all the weeks that they do it, I always love the Christmas special.
Mhm.
And because you said that how they do like what would it be? Like throwback ones, like the
Yeah.
best previous years. I really like that as well because then it's just bound to be a really good episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, the in Kalamazoo there was always Bronson Park and like the Candy Cane Lanes. Those were always fun. So if you know about Candy Cane Lane, um, and that's in no way is that like a bad thing.
And that is
It's literally just a Kalamazoo thing,
and
and
that
it's
is all we're saying about that.
it's the OG candy canes, not the new ones. The new ones are knockoffs.
Oh, good to know. You
They
hear that,
got
Kalamazoo?
they got new upgraded candy canes in the park that there's some people are not fond of. So
There's uproar, and I'm not a person to voice my opinion, but
oh, no, you have no opinions on anything ever.
No good opinions.
yeah, exactly. But this one is a good opinion that I will stand by.
Here in Fort Wayne, there's a giant Santa Claus on the side of a bank. It's been there since probably the 50s. They light it up on the day before Thanksgiving every year. So we usually go check that out. Yell 10, 9, 8, countdown, and this giant Santa Claus lights up.
So Rochester, where I grew up, it's kind of famous now for they light up the front of every building in downtown with like
Oh, nice.
millions and millions of lights. And it's fun, but it's probably the sort of thing that people from other cultures that have like a rich cultural history around the holidays are like, look at these crazy flashy Americans just making stuff bright. And like, I don't know this, but do you go around other parts of the world and have people put like Christmas lights on their houses and cars the same way? Like, from what I read, it sounds like even just lighting up our houses seems kind of weird to people from other parts of the world.
Really, I mean,
Yeah, I believe it. I don't know that
but it's
we.
still fun.
Or ugly
It
sweaters
is
was another
fun.
thing that like just isn't normally done. But I think it's because there was much more tradition in older places in older countries compared to what we have.
Well, and
And
the
so
ugly sweater has really become like a fashion thing nowadays. Like having like a good ugly sweater is fashionable. I feel like I'm no
Mm,
fashionista by any means, but
are you sure?
I think so.
Yeah,
more so than me.
You're quite
I've
what
never owned I've never owned an ugly sweater. I know that it's a thing. I've never done it. I've got some footy pajamas that I wear every Christmas.
I
the
don't
bunny
I don't
things.
don't
Yeah,
mean
a
to
little
tell you this,
onesie.
but I've seen you in a sweater, so you no.
Damn it. Walked right into that one.
Yeah. Uh, how about eggnog? Yes or no?
Yes.
Nah, nope. I can't.
I'm a
Can't do
fan,
it.
but I bought some from like the local grocery store the other day that was not very good, so it has to be the right stuff.
Wait, which
Mm.
one did you buy?
I don't know, but I'm not calling out and talking about how I hate a brand here
Okay,
for
well,
people to
because there's
hear.
the brand of the milk that's very good from one of our
That
local
is not
stores.
the one I got.
It's not that one. Okay. So, all right, if you like the nog, before I come over today, I might run to the store and grab this nog. I heard someone called it duck juice. I really like it, so I'm calling it duck from now on.
I like that.
All
I like
right.
that. Yeah, I don't like well, so it's usually served with some sort of something some sort
Rum,
of spirit or
whiskey.
libation. and I don't like milk and
Mm.
alcohol mix, like White Russians or anything like that.
I
I'm not a big
love.
fan of.
I'm a fan of White Russians, and I even like the bombs where you drop it in and it curdles. I'm even a fan of that.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, I
But
don't even think I've ever
For
even done
the
that.
car bomb, but not the Irish. Adding the Jameson it makes it more of like it is a true shot where you give it like a ooh
it's like the
after you
some.
have it versus just sheer enjoyment of
I think it's
drinking
the
it.
cement mixer where it's like lime juice mixed with like 151, and then you drop it into like an Irish cream, and it just curdles as soon as it hits. Something like that. I don't know.
Whoa.
I may be wrong on what it is, but
That's very festive. The lime juice.
yes, lots of limes here this time of year. Lime trees thrive in the northern United States.
Or let's go about like the Christmas like foods and desserts. Like with you guys, do you guys have like a staple within your families for goodies or even just Christmas dinners that would be like quote unquote atypical for
Not no. My
no?
favorite was always. I mean, sometimes we do lasagna, but that's just because I was a little kid and I was the only kid in the family, and I liked lasagna. But
Yeah.
I think my favorite was when someone do like the prime rib roast, and we'd really do it up on those years that money was
Nice.
doing better than others.
Mm-hmm.
But I did interesting you mentioned that, because looking at these different traditions, a lot of them revolve around two things: either food of the culture and the importance of the food, or basically like setting up a some lore to scare people and children to do the right thing all year round. And like that is the main thing is you can tie them all myth and religion really back to that, idea of, all right, we need to control the outrageous behavior of the masses, and this is how we're going to do it. um and whether or not you believe in those, at some point a lot of people believed in all of them, whether it's the old
Yeah.
myths or what religion we have today. But that is kind of the general feature of the holiday traditions, is either, hey, don't be a little jerk and you can get something nice, or Krampus might come take you away. Or the food is very important to the culture, probably because you've saved up some of your best stuff for this time of year to really celebrate your
Mm.
family and your time together and that sort of thing. And it's close enough to the harvest where you have some of your best stuff. And so being able to bring out those foods that you don't get other times a year and sharing them with the people you care about is probably what really built those practices as well.
Yeah. Well, one, I think I talked about it. I don't know if I talked about it here, but the traditional the Christmas goose. Why do you think that fell out of favor for the Christmas ham?
Good
Like, we
question.
go from we go from Thanksgiving, we have a bird,
Do
and then
people do the Christmas goose still though?
I I've never had it.
I feel like
Are
there's got to
are
be a
these?
reason that like geese just aren't consumed the way they used to be. It doesn't even sound like the sort of thing that people would normally eat in our country, even though it is
Yeah.
historically normal. It's
I never really thought about that. Is like a Canadian goose? It's just
yeah,
slaughtered and
I don't know if it's Canadian or not, and we like the Canadians, so let's not call them out on this. But uh, I know. Uh, but yeah, I'd say it's probably just your average goose. I mean, people go duck and goose hunting, and so I'm
yeah.
assuming they became somewhat protected because it was being overdone. But I
Mm,
think the biggest reason we probably see it is everything now is mass production, and so you can have a farm with tons of chickens, and because they're
Mhm.
flightless birds, they're easier to maintain. I don't know how many goose farms there are. I'm sure they exist, and I've seen geese on farms, but
Like they're really necessary anymore with how rampant they run.
yeah, I don't know. It's an aside, and it's not a animal friendly story, but one time I had a goose fly in front of my car as I was driving down the road. That was
Yeah.
mortifying.
Yeah.
I
was
think it
it
was okay, but it bounced off the top of my windshield. So
Is this a good time to discuss, if we're going to get somewhat scientific, the CMOR, Steve, Dr. Sparks, and the threat of punishment by the Christmas Krampus and other myths
we
and
we can get
legends?
into it a little bit. conditioned motivating operations. I'm trying to think of how to translate that because you put me on the spot there so easily.
I can take a stab at it.
Sure, go ahead.
A stimulus context or situation in which the reinforcer of escape is more valuable or avoidance is more valuable, and behaviors that have historically resulted in escape or avoidance are more likely to be observed. So basically any sort of threat, it can be viewed as a CMOR because avoiding or eliminating that threat becomes more valuable, and thus things that result in its elimination are likely to occur. So the Christmas Krampus coming and stealing you away, for example, as a child, with that threat being the presented stimulus situation, behaviors that take away that likelihood are likely to be exhibited.
Yeah. Now, and remember,
did I nail it?
Yeah, it was a good explanation. I was trying to figure out the way to restate it so we didn't lose people, and I think you did a great job with that. The general idea with any motivating operations, though, is a change to the environment, or the stimuli around you that creates that change in motivation. And so that's why this time of year there's a lot more, push up on these sort of things and changing behavior in the new year. But is it really salient or obvious enough now the rest of the year to stop kids from doing the wrong thing, or adults or parents, that sort of thing too? And so it is, but this time of year especially, you have at least you think about the movies and TV and like, oh, the kids like, oh, I don't know, or the cartoons. I don't know if I was a good kid this year and I've got to change my ways and make some effort right before the holidays to undo the damage I've done, that sort of thing. And so
That fixed interval schedule there.
Yeah, so
if we want to get
I say anytime something reminds you or reminds a child of like, oh, I need to do the right thing, so I'm on the nice list, would be the CMO like that. Especially this time of year, you see a lot more reminders. Like the Elf on the Shelf. I don't know. Are you an Elf on the Shelf family? No,
we're not. No.
no.
Do you use it?
No, never really.
Yeah. Have you used that threat though with your kids in the past? I have, and I didn't even mean to. I'm just like, I don't know if Santa's coming for you, man. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know.
I mean, I've heard of it and seen it all, but like I don't fully understand what is the lore behind the Elf on the Shelf.
Oh, it's just Santa's helper who's mischievous and like messes with things for fun. It's for the adults to have fun, but also it's keeping an eye out to make sure you're being good and not bad. And so he's the one messaging back to Santa which list you go on. So in theory, it would make much more sense to have the elf out all year round, but
Yeah. There's also amazing photos of him partying because he's in a new location like every morning, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh man, he moved. But like, there's like in Barbie's dream house with like everyone's doing like the walk of shame and like,
Yeah,
it can get pretty funny.
Yeah, the families are having a lot of fun with it, and to me, that sounds like too much work for me to enjoy it that much. Also, I just see a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old be like, "Yeah, this little elf thing's watching you. Be good." It'd freak them out quite a bit, I
Yeah.
would think. I don't know. It's pajama day for our 4-year-old next week, and he's like, "Do I get to wear my villain pajamas?" But he loves the villains from every Disney movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like watching Finding Nemo, and after the barracuda eats all like the wife and all the eggs in the beginning of the movie, he just walked around saying, "I'm a barracuda" for the next like 3 days. And he said that was the funniest part. And
His
so
villain origin story.
yes. So there's a lot going on there. I don't know that would actually freak him out or motivate him in one way, shape, or form.
Right. That's awesome.
I saw one family was talking about how once everybody was older and Santa stopped coming around, they started getting gifts from famous people like Bob Dylan or Bill Clinton if they were behaving well. Like that's just who the presents were from instead, which I thought was kind of funny.
I like
Although
that. Yeah.
I'd be a little worried about what I might be getting from good old Bill there. So
he likes to party.
yeah. If that's all it was, that's fine.
I know.
Uh, so Krampus is one of those that like has become a little bit more well known now. It's like there's a lot of talk of whether it's really from Austria or just those nations in that general area, because since they were all kind of part of the same thing at one point. Um, but you get punished if you're not good, but you might get stolen away and eaten as a snack or taken back to hell if you're really doing some naughty stuff. Which
Man.
it's a whole nother level, really. Like hole in the stockings, like, oh well, I get to warm my house for another couple days. Cool. But nope, now I'm gonna get eaten by a monster, so that's great.
The start of hell pervades or lives on.
Yeah. So I found it interesting when I was not. I don't know why I wasn't expecting it. It's makes sense, but in Japan, it's become like really popular for families to get KFC for Christmas.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yeah, it's I guess for the people that aren't celebrating or making dinner, it's always been the cliche in America that you could go find a Chinese restaurant open, and that
Maybe
was
they're
kind of what you
finding the
did.
American
And so,
restaurant.
although it's
Yeah.
Japan, not China, it's almost like a flip flop or a switch of the same sort of thing, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, it's funny now that you say that. My brother-in-law was in Japan, and he thought it was really hilarious going to a KFC there.
It's funny that you guys say that or bring this up because when I went to South Africa in undergrad, I could find the picture. The food that I got there was a KFC.
It's
I
everywhere,
don't
man.
eat KFC regularly though. It's good.
I cannot remember. I think that was probably the last time I ate KFC.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've had it maybe once or twice in the last 20 years. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's good. I don't
there
like getting sick to my stomach though.
I will always feel sick, and there are better options. I'm just putting it out there.
Right.
There's
Right.
a roasted chicken place. It's just like a single shop that again I haven't had that in at least as long, but that my family would get instead, and it was so much better. And it had like the fried shrimp and fried scallops that you could get too. It was great.
We
Nice.
just lost our potential sponsorship from KFC though.
It's all right. They probably
KFC, not that good.
KFC decent at best. It's okay.
Big in Japan.
Yeah.
So some of the other ones I found that like we have kind of adopted here to a certain extent, like the pickle ornament. You familiar with the pickle?
I
Yeah.
started that this year. Yep, this is the first year we've done it, but that's older. But
That's because that's
yeah,
a German thing, right?
Yep. And
I don't know.
whoever finds it in the tree is supposed to get either an extra present or have good luck for the next year.
Ooh, which one would
Is
you take?
Or is it just up in the
Extra.
air?
I
What
don't believe
What are
in
you
luck, so I'll
taking?
take the gift.
Extra present?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um.
I thought you would.
Yeah. See. Some of them are like Ireland, a chilly Christmas Day swim. That sounds horrible. I think I'm not going to join in that tradition.
No, I'm not a big ice bath guy
No,
or like the polar dives or yeah. No, no
I don't
thanks.
like too hot or too cold. I can just stay right here in the middle. It's probably why I have no interest in leaving the Midwest. Is like I get the cold days, I get the hot days, but the
Yeah,
most of the time I'm just able to hang out and be comfortable, and that's fine for me.
right. What are we gonna say, Brad? What did you have to say about this?
About which part?
You said wait, and then
What are
we
we waiting
talked
for?
over you. I'm on the edge of my seat, literally.
We'll be honest. Whatever it was has completely left this brain. So I said wait, and that just it just came out with no
So
Okay,
meaning.
fine.
here's one from Dr. Meow Meow's family. Uh, and maybe you looked at my notes, but I guess probably not because you don't tend to look at those things before we record these.
Don't out me like that to our viewers. I am dedicated to this.
So in Brad's family, they put a spider on the tree, and the lore that was printed with the spider from the family that we received is that a mom and her kids decorated the tree. Spiders got excited that they like so excited to see it, they crawled all over the tree and left webs behind. And then Santa came in, felt bad that the family's gonna be disappointed. Their tree's all covered with spider web and turn it to tinsel. Uh,
Oh, yeah.
so
Yeah.
this is
What?
you're not familiar with why there's a spider on the tree at your family house, or why we received one and put it on our tree each year?
Family has we put a spider up?
I had never heard of this until your sister brought home our spider for our tree that first
This
year.
is new to me, and it's because we did the
I
tree.
believe it is a one of your grandmother on your mom's side or something brought the tradition in or something like that. I'm not sure.
Interesting.
Anyways, since you are not aware that you even have this tradition, I was going to ask if you knew what, at least from what I can tell, what the origin of that is. Are you familiar with that at all?
No,
Kind of
but
sound like
please
you had heard
enlighten
of it.
me.
No, I've never heard of it.
Oh,
I
okay.
just wondered maybe Brad isn't invited to family Christmas very often.
No, he's too busy trying to hit
I'm
up
a
the
loser, remember?
bar on Christmas Eve and doesn't even know what's on the tree.
I don't know.
So it looks like, from what I can tell, the tradition started in Ukraine, and so who knows where or when it was adopted in, or if it's even the basis of the same tradition. But there's so much overlap; it
Mhm.
seems like there almost has to be. And there's a few different versions of it, but it always ends up with spider webs, and so they put fake spiders and spider webs on their trees in the Ukraine because sunlight could turn them into silver or gold by
Mm.
morning. The ancient legend that this all kind of comes from is, it tells of a poor family. They have a Christmas tree, but they didn't have anything to put on it. They couldn't afford any decorations, and uh, the children are excited, but they're kind of sad that they can't afford to have this dressed up. And then the spiders come out, see the tree, and they decide they're going to decorate it for the family. And then in
Nice.
some versions, it's magic, it turns into gold and silver. And other versions, it's Santa comes in and sees what the spiders have done, and they're like, oh, this is awesome. He's like, this is awesome, I'm going to turn it into tinsel for you all, or made of real gold and silver. And now the family's not so penniless anymore. So
Nice. I
um
had never heard of that. I like that though.
yeah, and
Are
so
these spider decorations or are they
yeah,
like actual old
they're beaded,
spiders?
they're made from different things, but the one we have and the one I've seen online when I was looking this up, it's like made out of beads, and so it's like a little
Oh yeah.
kind of silver, different colors, but a beaded decoration that's in the shape of a spider.
Nice. Nice.
Now, we don't do the fake spider webs, but the way I feel about Halloween, I think we should. I think it should just be everything is brought into
You
Halloween.
repurpose some decor there.
Yeah, this year I got a new Christmas topper, and again, Brad saw what I ordered and had to copy me. I got Santa Claus riding a dinosaur to put on top of our tree this year. And then what did you get?
I got King Kong with a Santa hat holding the star.
Yeah, and so climbing up the tree. So
I just got a star.
How basic.
what a loser.
Join the crew, man. Tree buddies.
Tree buddies.
So another interesting one, there's in Norway, they hide brooms on Christmas so witches don't find them and take them and fly away on them.
CMOR.
But Italy, they, instead of getting gifts from Santa on Christmas, there's an ugly yet kind old witch named Befana, or giver of gifts, and I probably pronounced that horribly, who's in charge of the gift giving duties and flies around on the broom on the eve of Epiphany, which is January 5th. And if they leave out regional cuisine like broccoli and spiced sausage or a glass of wine, she'll leave presents for the kids who have been good for
She
the
just
year.
gets toasted by the end of the night, and she doesn't remember which house she's already given the gifts to.
Yeah, I mean, the stronger the stuff, the better. Like, you get more
But
presents.
broccoli was also on the table, right? So depending
Yes,
on what
but
she's in the mood for.
I have a feeling that over there, that's probably not the same way Americans look at getting broccoli instead of cookies. You know what I mean?
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you
We,
think classic Italian would take to a plate of steamed broccoli?
I don't know if
Like
they'd
just
be eating
straight
it steamed.
steamed
I have a
broccoli.
feeling they'd have some amazing way to make it delicious, and then we'd just be like, "Oh wow, we've been eating it wrong this whole time." That's what I
But with the
assume would happen.
American attitude, We're doing it right. Steamed, no seasonings.
Every time I watch like one of those holiday baking championships, and it's like there's the British judge who's like, "What is this? This is way too sweet." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, we American." If I eat something and that's supposed to be dessert, like that, like a cookie that's not overly sweet, I'd be like, "What am I eating?" You know. So I think it's just a different approach to it in general,
We aren't doing it right, but we're doing it faster.
and much less healthy, which is what
Also
really
the American
matters.
way.
Yes. um. So this one though, with the witch, actually dates back further than Christianity. Back Roman times, there's a similar myth of a flying woman associated with the harvest. But somehow that kind of merged with the story of the three wise men visiting baby Jesus, and that kind of somehow mixed together to create Befana, if I'm saying that correctly. So it's interesting
Man,
how some of these, yeah.
I love it. That's amazing.
Have you ever seen the picture of the horse skull visiting around Christmas and wondered what that's about?
no.
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 I have seen it and wondered what it was. Like it seemed interesting to me that would be part of the holiday tradition. Um, I feel like I shouldn't even try to pronounce something in Welsh, but in Wales,
I disagree.
the translation of what is gray mare, it's like Marilaud or Lude, or I don't know.
I think it was, yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, is an elaborately decorated horse's skull attached with a long wooden pole covered with a sheet or blanket. And they travel through town singing and getting in like insulting rhyming competitions with people. And if
Isn't that called a rap battle?
it is not quite a rap battle, it's not that way. It's if you ever watched any of the old Monty Python movies where they just like insult each other, like that's what I picture this being, you know,
Yeah.
I have
that
seen
type
Nick
of feel.
Cannon's Wild and Out, and is it comparable?
Sure.
Wild and Out to Monty Python.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's practically the same thing.
Just
Probably,
generational difference, right?
Anyways,
No,
like
yeah,
yeah. They'll
very
show up
different.
to random houses while singing, getting into an impromptu competition, and then if they win, which I'm sure they're allowed to win or they're told they win every time, then they get allowed into the home or the pub, and their presence is said to bring good luck for the following year. And so it's kind of like extreme and much more fun caroling, and I think we should bring this one specifically to the United States, but we're gonna need Dr. Mao to find us a horse skull because I don't know where to find it.
I was gonna say, do they kill the horse ahead of time, or is this an already dead horse, or do they have to kill it for this event?
I'm assuming it must just be a skull they have available.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
horses
the
are too
Welsh aren't one to
valuable.
waste a horse for no
No,
reason. Yeah,
no,
yeah.
horses
There
are
you
too
go.
valuable. Um, I still feel uncomfortable that I tried to pronounce anything in Welsh whatsoever. Like that is one of those languages where you're like, I don't even know how you are from the same region as these places where I speak a similar language because I can't follow it. I can't catch it. I don't know what's happening
Hey,
whatsoever.
I mean, take like even within the United States, is it like Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where their like southern drawl is like a completely like incoherent?
If you're talking
Yeah,
about Southern drawl versus Creole, like which is its own
Yeah,
language, then
easy.
it may be the
I
difference
guess.
between those two, possibly.
well,
Yeah.
isn't there? There's some regions where it's kind of a blend, though, right? There's a Creole
But
and
yeah, and I'm sure there's a
yeah,
blend with like from Wales to England and that sort of thing too. But
sure.
when I found out that there was completely separate languages that are not really much overlap at all, I was
Mm,
surprised how that works over there. But it's still very interesting and cool to see the different cultures in one small area.
yeah.
I would be very curious at some point in my life just to see what it's like, but to spend like the week of Christmas in another country to see it over there. I think it would be a very interesting thing to experience.
Looking at this, I was kind of feeling like that half and half. It could go like I could be missing out on what I'm used to, what Christmas has always been to me my whole life, but at the same time, it would be so cool to see the different cultures and what everybody's doing that it would still be worthwhile doing at some point, sometimes it would just be a little bit of I don't know, feel like you're missing out at the same time too.
Would it be bad to try to go to France because of, or Paris specifically because of Home Alone?
So
Les incomptables.
as I was looking at this, or maybe it was something else I was reading, there's actually an illness. It's like the Paris illness or something like that, where people become physically ill and super depressed when they go to Paris because they're expecting this magical place and it's just kind of like a normal place. And so like the disappointment of what they've built up in their head for all these years, I think it's probably specifically Americans. There's actually an illness that can come from that. So if you were expecting how Paris is in Home Alone, then actually probably you'd end up on the good side of that because they just sit in an apartment on the phone and watch French
Yeah.
TV all day. So I doubt you'd have that same experience, but
Mm. I
I
expect
don't.
Ratatouille type level.
Yes, if rats are not cooking all my meals, I'm gonna complain to somebody.
Exactly.
Let's see. What else did I look up? I thought was interesting. Catalonia, Spain. Families have a pooping log. Again, I didn't even
What is that?
try to pronounce the actual way.
Well,
Yeah, go
I've,
ahead.
I've
Why don't you
five
guess?
follow-up questions.
He is
Go ahead.
speechless.
I want you to guess what it is before I tell you because you're going to be wrong and it'll be less uncomfortable than what you think it is. So I just go ahead and guess first what's going on here.
I'm guessing then that the caveat is that it has nothing to do with pooping, actually.
Not actual feces, no.
Okay. Then I have no idea.
Okay.
Can I have a
So
clue? Give me a clue.
candy.
Oh, with pooping?
Yeah.
Is it the amount of Hershey Kisses that they consume?
And how bad
Now, why
it
would
makes
that?
them
Now,
need to.
why would that be, Brad? I don't get it.
What does that have
I
to do with
don't
a
know.
log?
A Tootsie Roll. It's a Tootsie Roll.
No.
Oh,
So
I thought he nailed it.
So
So
did
it's- I couldn't find a picture of this to see what it actually is, but it is some
I'm
sort
scared
of
to Google it.
log that they feed treats to leading up to Christmas. And then on Christmas, they sing to it and beat it with a stick until it poops out said treats.
They
Where is
fill a
this at
log-
again?
They fill
According-
a log. So it's like a pinata of sorts?
Yes, it is like a pinata, but because the treats are falling out of it and like being squeezed out of it, they have called it the pooping log. But again, this is in Spanish, not, and I just didn't want to butcher the language, and so that is why I just went with the translation to pooping log. It's Catalonia, Spain, according to what I read.
I'm looking up photos of these things. They are little wooden creatures with faces. They put eyes and noses and mouths on them, and they're bent over, and they look like they're trying to poop. It's amazing.
I'm shocked that America has not adopted this.
Absolutely, this sounds like the sort of thing.
Imagine both of your, or all of your kids, both of you, having a swing at that on Christmas morning after opening presents.
This may be one we end up adopting, truthfully, because it sounds like you can't lose with this. You know what I mean? It's a win-win.
Nope.
Now, how do I get one of these things? Do you have to is it made out of real wood? Like, I'm gonna have to do some.
Made out of
research.
the picture here that I'm looking at is an actual like log. It's a log hollowed out, and then it's got two legs in front, so it's kind of like bent forward, and then it's got little eyes and a nose and mouth on the end.
So you have to get a new log each year because you break it as you poops out the treats?
I don't know if you break. I don't know if you
We're
break
gonna
it
have
or
to do some
not.
research on this, but it is going to be coming to our house one way or another at some point here.
This thing is like actually kind of scary looking. Like,
yeah.
There's some that are, yeah. Man,
I picture one of like what Kyle, you showed us pictures before, your family seeing like the tree trolls, the giant like, that's what I'm kind of picturing here.
Oh yeah.
Which, thank you for giving me the segue to the next one I found. In Iceland, between the 12th and 23rd of December each year, kids leave shoes on their windowsill, or a shoe on their windowsill.
Oh, I've
while they
heard of this
yeah,
one.
sleep at night. And 13 magical Yule Lads, which are trolls, come down from the mountains to give gifts to the well-behaved children. And naughty kids end up with a rotten potato instead, potentially anyways. A potato or a rotten potato, depending on probably how bad they really are.
But it's no specific day in that time period. It's just somewhere within that window.
No, I think it's like each night a
Oh.
different Yule Lad comes down to check on, see
Oh.
if you're, and give you something. And then the original version had a more sinister tone where the parents used mysterious nighttime visits to scare kids into behaving. Like they're going to come leave you a potato or steal you away, or who knows what. But they've added to it in the last century. So now there's actually a Yule cat who's rumored to be the pet of the Yule Lads and will come and eat naughty or lazy children who don't receive clothes for Christmas. And clothes is a common gift for kids who do their chores. And so it all's connected here that if you've been good enough to receive clothes, then now the Yule cat won't come and eat you, which to me, as a child, I'd probably be like, if you're just giving me clothes, go ahead and have that cat come and eat me. And so, but maybe this is a way to make clothes still be considered a good present in
Yeah.
parts of Iceland. I'm not sure. Or maybe it's like, hey, it's going to be -20 here, so you better be hoping for some good clothes for Christmas. I don't know.
Right.
Hope you don't get a tank top, because I mean you're questionable for your
Yes.
behavior.
That's really what it should be. If you get warm summer clothing in the dead of winter in Iceland, there's your sign that you were not being very good this year.
You're
A
about
lump of coal would be more beneficial.
Absolutely. Have you heard of first footing?
Nope.
So in Scotland, this for New Year's, once midnight strikes and the calendar flips, the first visitor who comes across the home is said to be the predictor of fortune for the rest of the year. So, depending on who it is, you could be lucky or unlucky. And I guess maybe you plan out who that first visitor is going to be, but other times not, because sometimes they'll bring gifts and food and that sort of thing. But other times I think it's just kind of supposed to be random, because on the lucky list, a man with dark hair is like thought to be the most lucky, and women or blonde-haired men are believed to be unlucky.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now
That checks out.
Brad's not as blind as he likes to think he is, and so I don't. He may be safe. I'm not sure, but I wonder what happens if. I mean, this is Scotland. There's a lot of red-haired people in that general area. It doesn't say what happens if the person has red hair, but it's also like the person, assuming they know they are likely to be the first foot, is also supposed to bring like gifts symbolizing the good fortune, like bread and whiskey, which would be good luck, at least for that night. So that one would just turn into a party, as far as I can tell. Be like, everybody's showing up, like, all right, this is the house we're showing up to for the first footing this year. Everybody bring their whiskey and we'll see what happens. You know,
If we put whiskey in the pooping log and blend traditions.
yeah. I'm thinking, like, do you think there's a bunch of blonde women running around just trying to mess with people? Like, aha, you have bad luck now, or like they stay in home because they don't want to be considered or thought of as bad luck. You know what I mean? It feels like
I don't know.
there could be a lot of play with this one that you could have either a good time or bad time with, depending on what your thoughts are.
Not gonna have a good time.
You're gonna have a great time.
If you pizza when you meant to, or when you French fry when you meant to pizza, you're not gonna have a good time. In the Czech Republic, single women stand with their back to the door and throw a shoe over their shoulder. If it lands with the toe pointing towards the door, lore is they will be married in the coming year. But if it's facing any other direction, you're screwed for another year. So,
how much does it have to just be like the door as a whole? It has to be pointed at it, and not outside the frame.
Yeah.
Why do you think I would have this level of information?
You're telling us about all this different stuff. Did you not do your research?
I half-assedly did enough research to make this hopefully interesting for people.
Well, what if they have
Half-assedly.
questions?
That is what the great World Wide Web is for. We're just trying to enlighten people to what happens in other parts of the world that's interesting, and then they can look into it more if they feel like it. It's only an hour-long show, all right, Brad? We don't have 3 days to go over all of these
We're the
things.
trailers before the actual movie.
Absolutely. And they've probably already decided by now to turn us off because it's not worth watching. So that's what's going on here.
And props to you if you're watching. If you're setting this up on YouTube, I applaud you.
Yeah.
I think we get a lot less on YouTube, but we still get a good, I think sometimes up 80 over 100 views just of us sitting around talking like this, which is impressive because I don't want to look at
There's people
myself that
listening.
long.
Yeah, there's people listening.
Yeah. Then the last one I found that was interesting is in Guatemala. One source said that they build a scarecrow of the devil. And what I've most of what I've
Nice.
seen, it's actually they're taking like refuse and random trash and items they don't actually want to keep, and creating like putting a devil or making it look like the devil or putting a mask on it, and then burning it outside in order to scare away the evil spirits from the previous year and start
That
afresh and anew. So
this one I will take upon myself to start. That's amazing. I
I
like it.
think if that allows me to play with fire in my front yard
Yeah.
in Metro Detroit and get rid of the evil spirits, I don't see what's wrong with this. As long
It's
as
a
I have
win-win, man.
as long as I have the ability to say you are violating my religious rights by telling me I cannot do this, I think
Yeah.
we can go for it.
If anything, you're just helping because you're keeping the devil away.
And getting rid of trash. We're taking care of blight, okay? Just like all those frat guys are just trying to get rid of the blight as they're burning couches on the lawns in the beginning of the school year. It is doing
100%.
society a favor. All right, so that's what I came up with. And ones I found most interesting or kind of fun to read about, and learn about. Did you all look at anything or find anything interesting, or you just leave it all up to me this time?
You're the backbone of the society.
I know you didn't even look at the notes, so we're not even asking Brad here. Kaj, do you have anything?
No, other than the I mean, I just thought of American religious stuff like attending mass on Christmas Eve and things like that, but nothing like interesting. No offense to Catholics. It's
Well,
just not unusual.
I wonder if it is a truly like acceptable Catholic thing or just the friends of mine who are Catholic, but most of them that went to midnight mass got wasted before they went. They
Yeah.
would just drink and then go. And I'm like, that seems counterintuitive if the purpose is to be religious in this time, but maybe not. Maybe that is all part of it. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I was
don't
never
know.
invited with them, probably because of how I acted if I joined them in the pre-mass activities, and because I couldn't, take the wafer and drink the wine and all those things either.
Yeah. Burn your throat.
My dad giving me a swirly in the sink and telling me I was baptized is about all I had going on. So.
Thanks, Dad. That's awesome.
Speaking of that, though, Brad's family has a story about when they were little and their uncle went out to, I think, did midnight mass or went out and staying with him one year. And then like 2 hours later after getting back, they all started jumping on the bed, waking him up because it's present day and it's time to open up presents. Is your family a get up early to open presents family, or is it no, we're just going to do a normal day sort of?
No, my kids are early risers anyways, so I mean they're up around 6 a.m. So yeah,
Normally?
we start. Yeah, I'm up at like 4:30 or 5 usually.
So I remember the first time I was.
When you go to bed?
10, 9 or 10.
The day isn't even
Boring,
over then.
man.
What if something big happens and you've gone to bed and like now you're not aware of it till the next day?
I'll be up at 4:30. I can read all about it. I'll be the first one to read about it.
Nothing good happens before midnight.
So what?
Who do you talk to about it at 4:30 in the morning, or do you just sit with your thoughts?
The voices.
Yeah.
Man, these
Krampus.
days Krampus. I invite Krampus, and I make a nice little fire in my fireplace, and I sit with my own thoughts for a minute.
I have a feeling that Kyle's kids come in and there he is talking to the elf of the shelf like it's a real person. Just like, you see this stuff? This is crazy.
It's pretty much what happens. You've pinned me.
I have never been an early morning person, even as a child. Like,
Yeah.
I would not get up early. And I remember the first time, like after moving in together, that I went back to stay with Brad's family for Christmas. And it was their sister, who is at the time probably like 2021, was very much like, nope, we're getting up at 4 a.m. for presents. I'm like, no, we're not.
Yeah.
She's grown. She's like fully an adult.
Yes. And she still will say these things, but now that she has a 1-year-old, I don't think she actually means it anymore compared to when she did not. But we'd be like, no way. You go ahead and open those presents. I'll see you later.
Open mine for me while you're at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most interesting Christmas probably over at their house was the time that I threw my back out and I took a pain pill and a muscle relaxer, and I don't remember that Christmas. So
yeah. That was the best one yet.
Yeah.
All
So
of a sudden he was back in his own bed, like the classic Christmas story when the child goes to the North Pole and then they wake up and it's Christmas morning.
except when I did it, it was I wake up, it's the day after Christmas, but still. Yeah, our family, luckily, one of the boys sleeps in like I do, and the other one doesn't get up that early. And so I have no plans on it being that type of house. I mean, the presents are still there when I'm not tired and miserable. And so why am I getting up extra early for that? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't have a good answer for you. I don't know why I do it. It's just, I don't know. It just happens.
I don't know. All right. Any other thoughts? Any other fun holiday ideas before we sign off here?
No, I don't have any. Be jolly, and merry,
and kind.
Do both, and kind.
Try to enjoy the holidays. It's gonna be a stressful time. Try to look towards the brighter things, the happy things, the seeing the light in a child's eyes rather than the menacing look of your drunk uncle at Christmas dinner. Just be careful out there, because if grandma can get run over by a reindeer, it can happen to you too, and you never know when that's coming around the corner next.
There it is.